bend at the hip. This is awkward.
I'll bring my pants with me.
This is not gonna work.
So I'm gonna take my bottle.
Zach, how much am I getting paid for this? In the backcountry, no one wants a butt that chafes, itches, or smells. So today I'm gonna teach you the backcountry bidet. To role model, I have with me Sherman. Hi, I'm Andrew Skurka, former thru-hiker, guidebook author, and guide. This is part of a weekly series with The Trek. If you have questions about today's topic, go ahead and leave a comment below, or if you have suggestions for future topics, also leave a comment. A backcountry bidet is the superior form of washing your behind in the backcountry. It's clean, it doesn't smell as bad, it doesn't itch, you're less likely to get chafed. I bring with me usually like just a little bit of toilet paper, just like in a little baggie, and it's really like insurance just in case. So for example, like really cold morning, I just can't stomach the idea of getting my hands wet, or if there's some sort of like event where I need some kind of tissue like that, so like a bloody nose. But yeah, for the most part, I am just bidet full-time. Always when I need to go number 2, it's not a surprise. For me, I'm a consistent morning pooper. At the longest, I might be able to have some breakfast and some coffee before I'll need to go. Usually the night before, I'm already putting some thought into where I'm gonna go find a pooping spot. If you select a spot intentionally, it actually takes a lot of the pressure off some of what you do with the waste. And it's a much better experience for anyone else who might be coming to that particular backcountry area after you. So when I'm thinking about where to poop, I'm gonna go for a little walk. I'm getting far away from any kind of established camping area where someone else might want to camp, where someone else might want to take a break, even where someone else might think about pooping. So I'm looking to basically leave behind all of these theoretical lazy poopers. You know, they're the ones who walk 10 feet out of the back of a campsite and do their business right there. And instead I'm walking down the trail for a few minutes, and I'm gonna step over like a waist-high log, or I'm gonna push through some briars or some brush, like just to kind of get into an area where no one else would think about pooping in that particular spot. I'm also looking for an area that is at least 100 feet away from water. I'm looking for an area where there's soft ground, maybe soft dirt, maybe like decomposing leaves, maybe mineral sand, but something that I could get into a little bit. Along the way, as I'm kind of like finding that spot, I'm gonna be grabbing some sticks. You wanna be taking dead and down sticks. You don't wanna be ripping sticks off of live trees. Ideally, they don't have any bark on them, and if they do have bark, just make sure it's not the bark that's gonna easily scale off. You gotta be a little bit careful of pointy things like this, but I'm not jabbing myself with these sticks. So even something like this, where it's got a little bit of a sharp edge here, that's not going to be a problem. In some locations, you might be able to find some rocks. A nice polished river rock like this, but it's just too small, so I wouldn't go with this. You might find a rock like this with sharp edges, and that actually is fine. But really, like the ideal rock is something like this. It's about this size, it's got smooth edges on it. Other things that you could grab along the way, you could get into a snowfield if it's early in the season, and you could make yourself a bunch of snowballs. If you are in an area with lots of leafy vegetation, you might be able to find that. So like one of my favorite wiping materials is corn lily, which you find in the more like riparian areas out west. Other leaves, you can kind of trial and error, but other leaves don't work so well. So like a rhododendron leaves, they're too waxy. They just don't have enough like grabbing power. So I have with me natural materials. The other thing that I took before I even left camp is I have a little dropper bottle with Dr. Bronner's hand soap, and I have with me also some hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer on its own is not enough, so it's really important that you have both of these items with you. A ranger, I thought, just said it really well, and he said, look, if you had accidentally somehow gotten poop on your face, would you rather take a piece of toilet paper and try to rub it off your face, and then take some hand sanitizer and just rub it in, get that poop nice and rubbed in there on your face? Or would you go get some soap and water and like rinse the poop off of your face? And so when you think about it that way, your butthole isn't that different than your cheek. It is, but I think you get the idea. The last thing you're gonna need is your water bottle. 1 liter of water would be like way more than you need. Personally, I find like a minimum is gonna be a quarter of a liter, and that gets good results. This is the same water bottle that I used to drink out of, and I know like intuitively like, no, that can't be. But when you see me do this, there's basically poopy water would have to go against gravity to get into my water bottle with the way that I do this.
Prove it.
Okay. Okay, so to role model, we have Sherman. If you've never done the backcountry bidet before, you might think about just removing your pants entirely. Once you get good at it, you can just pull your pants down around your, it's actually best to pull them down to your knees. If you pull them down to your ankles, your pants actually are a little bit more in the fall line. So around your knees is sort of the ideal height. And then we're gonna get in a squatting position. And now bend at the hip, knees up. This is perfect. Okay, okay, great. So we're in position, we're just doing the very simple squat above our hole, which we've dug, typically with the back of your heel. You could also use a trekking pole, you could use a stick. If you brought with you a shovel, by all means. And at this point, like, we're good to go. So we're gonna like open the Bombay doors and we're pooping in our hole. I'll do the bulk of the heavy lifting using natural materials. So I have with me these sticks, and I'm basically just gonna reach around and I'm just gonna kind of graze the crack, okay? And with the first couple of sticks, you typically want them to go back in the hole because they have enough probably fecal matter on them that they should go into your hole. But, 2 sticks, 3 sticks, 4, 5, and by the time you get to 3, 4, 5, like there's barely anything on them, and you can just start kind of tossing them around the area. And then it's time to do the backcountry bidet. And what I'll usually do is I'll open up, before I've started this process, I'll have a dirty hand and a clean hand. So in my case, my right hand is my clean hand and my left hand is the dirty hand. So with my right hand, I'm gonna reach around behind, and if you hadn't noticed what I did there, I just gently loosened the caps of my water bottle. And what that allows you to do is to get like a nice steady pour. That's much better than just opening the bottle completely and having all the water just kind of gush out. So I'm gonna stick my water bottle right above my crack, and I'm gonna squeeze on it gently and let water start coming down my crack. And with my left hand, I'm gonna reach around and I'm gonna be grabbing water and basically giving myself a shower clean. So I'm not just splashing water at my behind, I am making contact, I'm rubbing, I'm cleaning, okay, get into it, because the more you get into it, the cleaner you're going to be and the better you're going to feel for the rest of the day. So water, rub, okay, and you're going through maybe about a quarter liter of water. At this point, I have kind of a drippy bum, but it's clean water at that point, because there wasn't probably a lot of fecal matter around my butthole to begin this process, because a lot of it just came off on the sticks. So my butt's dripping a little bit, so I might air dry for a minute, just 30 seconds a minute, and just kind of let some of the water drip off. But usually, I backpack a lot in the West, it's not that big of a deal to have have my pants or my underwear just be a little bit wet. So I'll usually at that point, I'll stand back up, and I'll bring my pants with me, okay, and I'll put my pants back on. But at this point, I still have a clean hand and I have a dirty hand. So what I'll do at this point, I get some water in this hand, okay, and I can do just a little water clean, and then I can do some Dr. Bronner's. Dr. Bronner's, it's super concentrated soap. So if you use 4 or 5 drops out of this bottle, that's going to be pretty good, at least to get started. So I'm going to do a one-handed wash. So I have some soap in there, I have some water, and once I feel like that hand is pretty clean, I'm going to now do a double-handed wash. So I'm going to take my bottle like this, and I'm going to stick it between my knees, and I can, if I just open up the threads a little bit, I can then get water on both hands, and I can then do some soap, and I can squeeze again, okay, and get basically to a little faucet. And then at that point, I have 2 clean hands that have both been soaked. Final step in this, I have 2 clean hands that have been soaked, but just to be extra sure, I'll then take my hand sanitizer and put a little bit of hand sanitizer on my hands and get myself good and clean. Sometimes you just need to open the Bombay doors before you're prepared. So yeah, figure it out afterwards. I think you can, to use a golf term, I think you get a mulligan every once in a while, where you're gonna have to do your business and then do the cleanup later. I definitely have made a few pooping mistakes. I remember I tried pooping once on a very steep slope, and I basically at one point was like, why does it feel like I'm just pooping into poop? Because it had just had I didn't give myself enough clearance on the back end, so it just came up and touched me. we never get to experience in daily life what an inferior wiping technique toilet paper is. I think that's the big difference. We think that toilet paper works because we're showering every day or every other day. But if you're not doing that, like what happens in the backcountry, you accumulate the toilet paper that kind of rubs off on you. You get some hair in there. Maybe there's some fecal matter from farting or from not getting super clean, some salt from just sweating, and you end up with this sort of toxic combination. The outcome of that is what we call monkey butt, which is where you get that ring of bright red, irritated, chafed skin around your butthole. If you're like bidet curious, but you're not ready to go all in, maybe some of those adapters, maybe start with that. So still do the natural materials, but maybe do the adapter, and that way you're not having to make the physical contact, and see how that goes. And then once you're ready to get rid of the adapters, then you're at next level. And I will say, just as far as proof is in the pudding, so I've been full bidet, no toilet paper for 6-7 years probably, and I've never gotten sick from contaminating or from somehow ingesting fecal matter that I've gotten on my hands. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to tune in for future episodes. This is a weekly series that I do with the Trek. And if you want to go on a trip where you'll be surrounded by 7 or 8 or 9 other people who are all also doing the bidet, then I encourage you to maybe consider joining us on one of our guided trips. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thank you.